What's up, guys? Adam here, aka Anti-Cena Guy. Tired as fuck, people, but in some way it was well worth it. You know, growing up as a WWE fan, you know, I spent so many nights staying up all night because I couldn't miss the fucking pay-per-view. And then I'll be late for school the next day or for whatever event, for whatever fucking reason. I'll go in with sags under my eyes because I'll be so fucking exhausted. Or sometimes I won't fucking turn in. Then it came to a point where I started to dislike wrestling because of the fucking PG era. So then I stopped watching and caught up on sleep, etc, etc. And now, for the first time in a long time, the build-up for this year's WrestleMania has been so epic, with The Rock returning, the whole bloodline angle. And it's been really intriguing, it's really caught my attention. Okay. We saw some of that classy Attitude Era style with The Rock, you know, beating the shit out of Cody Rhodes, wiping the blood on the belt, saying this is for your mama and all that kind of shit. So we saw some edgy storytelling, which is what I want to fucking see. That's what everyone wants to fucking see. Well, last night, me and my friends got together, we watched night one of WrestleMania, WrestleMania 40, and here's your WrestleMania 40 review. Night one, the attendance 17,543. The show kicks off with Triple H coming out thanking everyone for attending WrestleMania. Nice to see Triple H. And he also announced that this is a new era. I don't know what he means by that. But hopefully, whatever this era is, I couldn't give a shit as long as it's TV 14 and it goes back to the old edgy ways. It's time to say goodbye to this fucking horseshit era known as the fucking PG era. And let's start with a new era that everyone wants to see. Why not give the fans what they fucking want to see? We want to see edgy storytelling, we want to see larger than life, star power, you know, that's what we really want to see. And with The Rock being in charge in some sort of way, hopefully that'll be a full-time thing. In the first match, Rhea Ripley retains the Women's World title against Becky Lynch. This was a great opener for WrestleMania. I like Rhea Ripley and I like Becky Lynch. Lately I've been becoming a more fan of Rhea Ripley, especially when she did the stink face to fucking Nia Jax at that house show. You know, it's a shame we didn't see a repeat of that at WrestleMania. Had a WrestleMania moment, but still. A lot of good things happen at the house shows more than the live events sometimes, so that's obviously not the case. But this was a great match. I honestly thought Becky Lynch was going to beat Rhea Ripley because Rhea Ripley has now held the women's title there for over a year. She defeated Charlotte Flair last year at WrestleMania to win the Women's Championship. And I thought, since it's been coming up to a year, you know, we were holding the title, I thought Becky Lynch was going to win. But both women put on a great performance in this match, and both of them looked really smoking hot as hell. They both had their own special entrance, you know, with their singers and all whatever. But this was a great match. There was loads of manoeuvres, there was some false finishes, there was some times where I thought Becky Lynch had this match won. You know, there was times when they went to the top rope, the top turnbuckle, and did some high-flying moves. It was a really great match, you know. There were some false finishes which were unpredictable. But for an opening match for WrestleMania, this was really impressive. And I thought both women really, you know, tore the house down, you know, for the Women's Championship. I mean, I've said this from time and time again, everyone, the women sometimes put on much better matches than the guys. And I'm really glad they're getting noticed and getting these bigger, noticeable matches just as much as the guys are, you know what I mean? So, Rhea Ripley retains the Women's Raws Championship and... Not Raws, to start, I call it Raws. The Women's World title, you know, and I'm happy for her. Like I say, I like both women. And they put on a great opening match for the pay-per-view, you know. A great opening match. But like I say, I thought Becky Lynch was going to beat her, but got that prediction wrong. Now, the second match, we get a six-pack tag team ladder match. I wasn't expecting this, you know. Before this match, before this pay-per-view took place, I never saw what was going to be actually advertised for this pay-per-view. But we get a six-pack tag team ladder match. I'm thinking to myself, is this a repeat of Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys and the Dudleys, you know? And even if it was, they won't be able to hold a candle to those guys. But surprisingly enough, this was a very entertaining match. And the A-Town Down Under and Awesome Truth defeated Judgment Day, DIY, New Day and New Catch Republic. Now, what was strange about this match is both tag team titles were hanging above the ring, the Raw and the SmackDown. You know, and they said that this match is going to carry on until both tag team belts have been pulled down by the opponents. Now, fairly quickly into the match, the A Town Down Under, Austin Theory and his partner, captured the SmackDown titles really rather quickly in this match. You know, but then the unfortunate thing happened, you know, when Austin Theory went through a fucking ladder and it broke in half. And at the end of the match, the Awesome Truth, R-Truth and The Miz captured the Raw Tag Team Championships. So now, I'm assuming now the Raw and the SmackDown Tag Team Championships have been separated, they're no longer unified, which is a good thing. It was weird seeing Judgment Day carry around like a blue leather belt and a red leather belt. You know, I think to myself, why are these Tag Team Championships unified, you know, when they could be separated on different shows and we could get more better Tag Team Championship wrestling, you know what I mean? But this was a great match. There was a scene that confused me a bit. I mean, I keep forgetting that female referee's name, but she was like trying to tell one of the wrestlers something. I think it was because the ladder was broken. You know, because you can see that the leg of the ladder was like bent while I was climbing up the ladder. So there was a point where they swapped the ladder for another one. I guess that's what she was assuming to say. But in this match, there was a load of ladder shots. There was a load of hard-hitting moments. And this match was entertaining. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't put it up there with like Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys, but you know, you can't pull off what those legends did at WrestleMania. But this was a good enough match. It was entertaining, and R-Truth tried to put on some comedy acts, you know, like pretending this was a tag team match, you know, because he went for the pin. Miz was like, no, this is not a fucking tag team match. You got to climb the ladder, etc. And R-Truth was copying some of John Cena's moves, like the attitude adjustment and all that for comedy purposes. You know, it was funny. I mean, not out of this world funny, but it was funny. You know what I mean? I like R-Truth. In my opinion, he's one of the most underrated superstars of all time. You know, he's only like had one ever WWE title match against John Cena. That was at Capital Punishment, I believe. But it was nice to see R-Truth get a belt for a change, you know. And I like R-Truth and The Miz. I liked it back in the day when they teamed up together as heels. You know, I like them better as a heel tag team. But it was nice to see them win a belt, you know. And I don't mind The Miz, I don't mind R-Truth. So, overall, this was a good six-pack tag team ladder match. Now, this next match, it didn't seem like a WrestleMania-worthy type of match. I mean, we get Mysterio and Andrade defeating Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom, you know. And I'm thinking to myself, is this a WrestleMania-worthy match? I mean, the match itself was fine, but everyone knows I've got a big problem with Dominic Mysterio. I mean, I don't dislike the guy because he's a good heel. I dislike the guy because I think he fucking sucks. And this match kind of proved it. I mean, every time you watch this guy wrestle, he wrestles so slow. And has he ever pulled off an impressive move, really? I mean, when he first made his debut and he was teaming up with his dad, Rey Mysterio, I remember him doing the 619 and his dad hit the 619 perfect. But when Dirty Dom hit the 619 on his opponent, his legs were nowhere near the opponent's face, he missed them. So he botches a 619, which is not like the hardest move in the world to do. You know, and he never does anything high-flying, he never does anything impressive. So Dirty Dom just never impresses me, no matter what he fucking does. I mean, I think the guy fucking sucks. I mean, I don't dislike him because, like I say, he's a good heel or anything like that. I just think the guy fucking sucks, and this match proved it in some sort of type of way. I mean, even when he was in the ring, he wrestled so slow and all that. But Mysterio and Andrade won, but it was a fine match. I mean, I like that manoeuvre that guy did outside the ring where he bounced off the ropes and he did that high-flying move. And it was a good match. There was nothing terrible. It wasn't like an amazing match. It wasn't like a dreadful match either. But again, did it feel like a WrestleMania-worthy tag team match? Probably not, but there you go. The next match, Jey Uso defeated Jimmy Uso, a brother versus brother match. We've seen some brother versus brother match in the past, like the commentator mentioned. We've seen Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. We've seen Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy. Those were great matches. Now this match, Jey Uso defeated Jimmy Uso. I like the build-up promo they did for this match. You know, the promo where it showed them as babies, growing up as kids, you know, going through high school and training to wrestle and all that. Excuse me if my voice sounds funny, I've got a bit of a cold. And the match was okay, but there was a moment where it went a little bit slow, and they spent most of the time of Jey Uso just kicking Jimmy Uso. Again, the kicks were very impactful, you could hear the kicks, but they kept on doing that over and over and over again. And this was Jay's way of trying to wear down Jimmy Uso, and he was saying stuff like, you're my brother, and there was a scene where Jimmy Uso was trying to beg for forgiveness, you know, and I thought Jimmy Uso had that won. You know, Jey Uso had him won in the end, but it was starting to lose its pace a little bit, where the match was starting to go a little bit slow, and they just kept on kicking each other. I mean, again, it's an impactful move, and it's a nice move to see, and I think the Usos pull off the move brilliantly, and they do a good job of making it look real, but it was starting to lose its pace a little bit when they kept on doing that to each other over and over and over and over again. You know, and again, the moments of the hard-hitting moments were spot on. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't a dreadful match, but again, it just loses pace a little bit when they kept on doing kicks to each other again and again and again. A fine match, don't get me wrong, it wasn't the match of the night, but and I'm happy Jay won. I like Jay and I like Jimmy also. It would have been nice if Rikishi had like a little bit of a role in this angle. I mean, it would have been nice to see Rikishi as a special guest referee or even a commentator for this match. You know, it would have been nice if Rikishi has some sort of role. That would have made things more interesting. At least that's what I would have done. I would have made him the special guest referee for this match. At least then it will cause like a little bit of a stir between father and son. Just my idea. And again, this match, does this match feel like a WrestleMania worthy match? Bianca Belair, Jade, Gable and Naomi defeated Damage Control. Again, this is like a 6-woman match you'd see on SmackDown. I mean, again, the match wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. There was a lot of false finishes. And it was entertaining. I mean, like I say, Asuka gave the green mist to the wrong opponent. And like I say, it was fine. But while I'm watching this match, I'm like starting to yawn a bit because I'm starting to get a bit tired. I wanted this to end because the match I really wanted to see was the main event with The Rock. You know, and while I'm watching this, I'm like, I'm getting tired and the time's getting on. You know, this is the middle of the night here in the UK. I mean, WrestleMania did start at midnight and it even went on overtime with the main event. And I think to myself, you know, hurry up, you know what I mean? But and Jade Gargill didn't really do anything in this match. I mean, she's a new woman to the roster, she's strong. But she only did like 1 or 2 moves and she ended up getting the victory for the team. You know, I mean, fine match, but like I say, was it WrestleMania worthy and worth being on the card? I don't know, you know. I like all the women in the match, but again, WrestleMania worthy, I'm not really sure. Now, this match I had a problem with. I think the wrong person won. Sami Zayn defeated Gunther, and he's the new Intercontinental Champion. Gunther's reign is over. Now, originally, this was meant to be Gunther versus Brock Lesnar for the Intercontinental title. Now, come on, guys, what would you rather see? Would you rather see Brock Lesnar fight Gunther? Or would you rather see Sami Zayn fight Gunther? You know what I mean? What would you rather see, and be absolutely fucking honest? I know this is bullshit about what's been fucking happening with Brock Lesnar, and he's no longer made to make an appearance at WrestleMania. But was Sami Zayn really the right guy to end Gunther's Intercontinental title reign? I mean, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I think Sami Zayn's a good wrestler. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not saying he's a shit wrestler, but I'm going to be honest about Sami Zayn, guys. He bores me. Same with Kevin Owens. He's a good wrestler, but there's just something about him I can't click with. Sami Zayn, you know, I suppose if he had like a gimmick or something like that, I'd like him a little bit more. And don't forget, in this match he showed signs of toughness when he was taking the chops from Gunther. There was a time in the ring, you know, where he was like really hitting his head and trying to beat himself up, you know, trying to get him ready for Gunther. And during the match, Gunther was talking to his wife who was sitting at ringside and all that kind of thing. I really like Gunther. I think he's the future of WWE and he's definitely going to be a world champion one day. But he's broke the Honky Tonk Man's record, and for him to lose the Intercontinental title to Sami Zayn, I'm like, really? know, it would have been more nice if Gunther would have retained. I mean, to have a WrestleMania moment. I would have made him lose the Intercontinental title in a couple of months' time after this, but on the grand stage, WrestleMania 40 to Sami Zayn, I'm like, don't agree with that. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Match was fine. It was hard hitting with the chops and etc. And I am at Sami Zayn off. I'm not sure if he botched his move at the end of this to Gunther off the top turnbuckle. But nevertheless, it was a fine match, but I think the wrong guy won. Now, the match of the night, the main event. The Rock and Roman Reigns defeated Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, which means on night 2 it's under Bloodline rules for the main event. This was a brilliant match. I really enjoyed this. The match started off very slow though. They did time doing their entrances, and then at the start of the match it seemed very slow. And you could tell in the crowd I was getting a little bit brassed off with it. I was like getting a little bit bored, you know, hoping something great would happen. Now, I wasn't expecting an awesome match. I was expecting this match to be quick. I was expecting it to be slow. But I was very surprised. I mean, there was a time where Cody Rhodes was battling Roman Reigns on the ramp. You know, The Rock and Seth Rollins went through the crowd. You know, and there was a lot of false finishes in this match. I mean, there was a time where they did the double pedigree, you know, on The Rock and Roman Reigns. And I thought that was it, but they both kicked out after that. And I was like, wow, you know what I mean? And there was a lot of heel tactics from The Rock. He said to the referee, don't fuck around, or you're fired, I've hired you. So The Rock was doing like a really good job of being a heel. Again, at his age 50, I never expected him to go so long in a tag team match. You know what I mean? And of course The Rock did all his best to cheat. I mean, he picked up the victory by hitting Cody Rhodes with the weight belt. Roman Reigns speared him, and then The Rock did the rock bottom and then the people's elbow, and The Rock pinned Cody Rhodes. Now, this was a great match, don't get me wrong. I mean, it went to overtime as well. I mean, at this time in UK time, it was like nearly 4:20 in the morning. I'm really tired, but this match like really woke me up. And I thought this was a very entertaining match. I mean, it went on for a long time, but I wouldn't have had The Rock pin Cody Rhodes. Because in my opinion, if I had it my way, I'd have The Rock pin Seth Rollins. Because at least then it would leave the question about, could The Rock have really pinned Cody Rhodes? Because now we're heading into, I mean, think about it. Has this game away about who's going to win now on night 2? Because don't forget, Cody Rhodes lost last year at WrestleMania. Now he's lost on night 1 of WrestleMania. Is this going to look for good for Cody Rhodes if he loses as well on night 2 of WrestleMania? So that's like 3 WrestleMania nights he's lost in a row. I don't think. In my opinion, this has gave this away. If you want my honest opinion about who I think is going to win, I think Cody Rhodes is going to defeat Roman Reigns on night 2. However, I've got this little feeling that Cody Rhodes is not going to leave with the belt after WrestleMania, because we're all forgetting about the Money in the Bank contract with Damian Priest, because he can choose any championship he likes. But I don't know. I would have had The Rock pin Seth Rollins. You know, at least then The Rock's got a WrestleMania moment, and then it leaves the question open about can The Rock actually pin Cody Rhodes. But I'm not sure if it's like sort of like a giveaway, because Cody Rhodes looked disappointed and all that kind of stuff, and I don't know. I can't see Cody Rhodes having 3 losses in a row at WrestleMania now. You know, I mean, I could be wrong. There could be a twist. There could be some sort of twist, and Cody Rhodes could have backup, some help to win the title, which I think is going to happen. I reckon that's going to involve either Goldust or Stone Cold or John Cena. I don't know. But I would have had The Rock pin Seth Rollins. At least that's what I would have done. You know what I mean? Because that sort of now gave away about who the victory is going to be between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, you know. At least that's what I thought. But nevertheless, excellent match, and I really enjoyed night 1. That tag team match on the main event was the match of the night. Like I said, there's 1 or 2 bits of problems that I had with some certain matches, but overall it was a great night 1 for WrestleMania. Really enjoyed it, and now I've got to do the same thing again for night 2 tonight. I've got to stay up. It's going to start at midnight. It's going to end at 4 o'clock in the morning. I've booked tomorrow off work, you know what I mean, and I'm not young like I used to be, but I'm really looking forward to night 2. Mainly I want to see my hero Stone Cold Steve Austin, but who knows? I reckon it's going to be a great night, but like I say, it was a great night for night 1. I wish I didn't have this fucking cold because I sound like a fucking homo. But yeah, great match, great main event, and overall happy with the pay-per-view. Just a few bits of problems, you know, like Sami Zayn defeating Gunther and the Bianca Belair match and the Mysterio and Andre match. They did feel like WrestleMania worthy matches, but they were still good matches. But again, they weren't like epic matches, you know what I mean? But that's night 1, everybody. I'll see you again tomorrow for night 2 when I review that. So thanks for watching this, everybody, and don't forget to leave a comment. Peace.